Welcome to enVisioning Success, the weekly podcast where Laura Di Benedetto and Julia Becker-Collins share tips, suggestions, and stories to help you succeed in business. In today's episode, we explore 5 tips for attracting a buyer for your business, such as improving your online visibility, streamlining your customer acquisition process, developing scalable marketing plans, and showing off the strength of your brand. And now, here's Laura and Julia.
Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome back to enVisioning Success. I am Laura Di Benedetto, joined by the lovely and always talented Julia Becker-Collins. And we're so excited to bring you this episode because we're going to be doing, oh my God, a 4-episode arc. We've never done that before. And the theme is all about buying and selling businesses. And as an entrepreneur, we know that you care about making more money. Hello, that's why you're here. So this episode is going to focus on maximizing your asking price for your business and making sure that it has tremendous cash flow. So a buyer is going to be super excited to give you maximum price for it. And guess what? Marketing plays a big role in that. And this is something that we talk with our clients a lot about. And we work with clients of all different ages and situations. So acquisitions are a big part of what we do here at Vision. So I've said this before and I will say it again. Vision is celebrating 25 years of marketing excellence. We help people to kick ass, take names, make more money, and not be stressed out while they do it. So if you want some help with that, head to vision-advertising.com and we would love to tell you everything that we possibly can, and you can pick our brains till they bleed. All right, let's dive into the episode and talk about things. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about how to enhance your business market value through strategic marketing efforts so you can get the most money possible. Julia, I feel like you and I have talked about this quite a bit with our clients over the years. We've actually, when we have clients as long as we do, we get a lot of people that it's like, well, now I want to spend more time with my grandkids. I want to retire and I have to think about my legacy and I want to get the maximum value. I'm sure you've had that conversation at least 5 times this year.
Oh my God, so many clients. I was actually just reiterating a conversation that I had with a client to somebody on our staff about how he's getting ready to sell in the next 3 to 5 years. And it's exactly what you said. We've had clients for so long. We've had clients for over a decade. And so they're kind of getting to the point where they're either going to sell or they're going to replace themselves in the business. And, for a variety of reasons, maybe they didn't think about their succession plan earlier, even though we all know you need to be figuring out your succession plan as soon as you take on a leadership role.
You mean a casket is not an exit plan?
Nope, not today, Satan. But it comes up a lot. I actually have this conversation quite frequently with people that are getting ready to think about selling. They're kind of in that next 3 to 5 to maybe 10-year range. They're starting to think about selling the business. Mm-hmm. And it's a long process when it's done correctly. Mm-hmm. And marketing is really the unsung hero of that process. People don't think about how you could really increase your value during a valuation process through marketing,
right,
to get the most for your company. And that's a conversation we have frequently.
That's very true. And the reason for that, I think, is because we're not always thinking about things from the buyer's point of view. We're thinking about things from the seller's point of view. So, if I put myself in the seller's shoes right now, I want to sell the company. I want to do this. Well, I'm going to be thinking, I want to get as much as I can. Mm-hmm. But we're not actually asking ourselves this logical question, aside from really hardcore negotiation tactics, which are always helpful, good deal terms, stuff like that. What we want to be asking ourselves is what the buyer will want to get them excited to give us a gigantic dump truck full of cash for the business that we've worked so hard for. That's the right question to ask. And one of the most important things that any business buyer is looking for is honestly ease of new customer acquisition, because, there's a lot of businesses that will be purchased by someone who wants to operate the business. And there will also be a lot of businesses that will be purchased by those who don't want to operate it and they don't want to go out there and do the sales. So if you have a sales depends on you type of business model, you're in for a rude awakening. You are going to have a very hard time capturing a really high selling price for your business because you're the big thing being sold. And since you're not going to go with the sale, they're not going to offer you as much because the business can't grow itself.
Correct. Yeah. I'm like flashing back to so many conversations with clients and prospects over the years where we've said exactly these things.
Mm-hmm. We've also had many conversations with a lot of our clients turned friends who they want to pass their business to their kid. And little Johnny is just a little dirtbag and he doesn't want the business. And he's like, sorry, Dad, I'd rather do drugs.
Right.
There's so many like different things. But like, when you think about a lot of the, just use the retirement reason. A lot of these business owners, they're probably in their 60s, 70s, sometimes 50s, right? But they're going to have kids that are maybe in their early to late 20s, maybe early 30s. These people don't always want to own a company and actually operate a company. So that means you don't have a successor, which means you need to figure out how to A, fire yourself, which is my favorite thing ever. I love firing myself. Julia's nodding in agreement. She goes, yeah, you do.
But I also love firing myself.
Yes, I know. And you love a canceled meeting.
I do. It's the way to my heart, really.
I understand. So, when we think about maximizing the ability to get the most money at the sale of your business because you can't pass it on to your kid or whatever, you need to make sure that you have fired yourself and built a fully automated sales machine that doesn't depend on you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm going to be sending this episode to a lot of people.
I mean, we could tell our own story. Like when I first came on board at Vision, the sales apparatus and the whole way that we brought in new business was you, Laura. And that, like you said, not sustainable. And it doesn't work long term.
No. And, the other part of this, and I feel like we've probably mentioned this in another episode, when the owner is the principal salesperson, which is often the case, and it's not a bad thing, clients get sometimes unreasonably attached to the business owner. And if there's a transition of power, oftentimes you'll see a massive attrition, which a business buyer does not want.
Yep.
Especially if you have an earn-out structure to your deal.
Yep.
So warning, red flashing lights all over this episode. So like every other episode, we have 5 actionable tips for you and things that we really want to help you to think about. But the most important takeaway and probably the main point, so if you want to take notes, kids, here's your point, get your pen. You need to fire yourself before you try to sell your company from the sales role. And you can do that through marketing. Marketing can replace sales if you have it structured correctly.
Can you explain for the listener more about what we mean by fire yourself? Because I think that when I first came on board at Vision, you consistently said to me, I can't wait for you to fire me. And I was so deeply confused by that. Oh. Now, flash forward 8 years later, and I'm saying the same thing to my staff, please, please fire me. So I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand what that means.
Fair enough.
You don't mean I don't want to get paid anymore.
No. I still want to get paid.
I still want to get paid.
I just don't want to do the work.
I just want to be useless.
Yes. I want to be paid to be beautiful. That's it.
And not be essential to the success of the business.
Yes. So what I mean is delegation.
Yes.
You need to be able to fire yourself by delegating everything that is critical to you to someone else. And you don't always have to delegate to a human. You can delegate to marketing systems and automation. And I'll give you a good example. Let's say you have insurance agency. Okay. You need to get more clients. You sell to businesses. You sell to business owners. So what you would want to do is you would want to optimize your website and your online advertising through like Google AdWords and doing lots of blogging to talk about things that business owners care about, risk, et cetera, et cetera. And then you would want to create a system of automation. So for people who visit your website, visit your blogs, there is a call to action that they can take because they're so wowed by the information that they can get a free call with you to assess their insurance needs, right? So when you go through this process, this is called a customer journey. You actually need to build one other than smiling and dialing, okay? smiling and dialing works if that's your business model. But when you're trying to sell your company, that actually can't be your business model because, money's nice. And if you want some of it and a lot of it, you have to delegate, AKA fire yourself from that. So when you build systems like this, you make it so when someone receives the call or the appointment through the online system, someone internally can handle the call. They can quote things. They can talk to them. They're personable. Spoiler, doesn't have to be you. You're not the only talented person in the whole world that can do this stuff.
I feel like we could do a whole episode on the need to delegate.
Well, since we always punt on episode titles, I'm going to write that one down.
Excellent.
Delegate. Yep. Look at me learning. I need to learn to fire myself from these things so I don't, continue to punt last minute. Okay. It's all right. The episodes are still good. All right. So let's get into the 5 actionable tips. So the first one is highlighting your brand strengths. Julia, I feel like you could probably talk a lot about this, but I'll just kind of kick it off for you and you can just kind of add to it if you want.
Sure.
But ultimately, you need to really create case studies, success stories, and testimonials that not just derive, value to potential buyers, but all to potential customers as well. Because whatever a potential customer is going to see, your potential buyer is going to see. So if you see someone out there who, doesn't have a good reputation, they don't have case studies, success stories, good luck selling that business. But if you know that you're thinking about selling your business 3 to 5 years out, this gives you plenty of time, like our client that we're helping, kind of enter into this transition. Like, hey, you can get ahead of this. Now you have time to compile all of these things, start building a really sexy reputation. This adds a lot of dollars.
Yep. I totally agree. I think those are excellent points. I will take point number 2, Alex.
Ooh, for 500.
For 500. Thank you.
Great.
So the second actionable tip. It's not even a Thursday. What's my excuse? Is to improve online visibility. And Laura was just talking about this a little bit earlier. Optimizing your website for SEO, search engine optimization, and increasing activity on relevant social media platforms is really important to show that strong online presence. It can significantly increase the perceived value. So now we're talking about both the selling and the buying side. It can showcase how popular the brand is, how bright and shiny the brand is, and how well-tuned the brand is, right? Somebody doesn't want to buy a house that needs a lot of work. They want to buy something that's already all set. And you want them to pony up with the amount of money that shows that this is ready to go. You don't need to paint the walls. Everything's already done for you.
Right. What they're looking for is essentially a turnkey business.
Right.
And if you create one, that's great. Also, as a really stupid side note, do you know that when I try to type out turnkey, my fingers are like, absolutely not. We're going to write turkey. Every time my fingers are like, no, on the N. Absolutely not. It's a turkey. It's a turkey business.
Nice.
So build a turkey business.
It's like how I can't spell restaurant. I just can't.
No?
Nope.
I didn't know that.
No, me and spell check are BFFs with that one.
Learning about you.
I've given up at this point.
It's wicked funny. All right. So the first 2 really kind of lead nicely into the third one, which is streamline your customer acquisition process. So you want to demonstrate a clear and cost-effective customer acquisition strategy. A, it's going to make things easier so you have more time to prepare the business for sale. B, you'll actually get to enjoy your life a little bit more as you're on your way out the door. But C, it will be more lucrative to someone else who's like, oh, shoot, they've already automated this. A business that has the ability to grow itself is infinitely more valuable than a business that can't grow on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Take notes on that one, kids. You really want to streamline that process and automate it. So when I say fire yourself, take me seriously, fire yourself, delegate, whatever. But when you streamline the process and actually, figure out what it is and your unique customer journey, maybe it's an insurance agency, maybe it's a waste removal company and they respond to Facebook ads, or maybe, you have medical devices and you sell directly into doctors' offices. Okay, fine. You need to get out of the way. So you have to use marketing to get the leads to come in and then have an internal person that knows what to do with the leads. And that's where you can train the person. You can shadow you and you can actually create SOPs. And if you haven't done that yet, here's your hint. Go do it. You need SOPs for everything.
Please.
What's number 4?
Number 4 is develop scalable marketing systems. We want you to build and showcase marketing systems that can easily scale, which makes the business more attractive to buyers that are looking for growth potential. So we had talked about whether somebody's going to buy it and be an owner operator versus just an owner. Most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, people are looking to buy and not be an owner operator. They're looking for an investment. They don't want to be the sole salesperson and an investment that they're purchasing. So figuring out how to have a marketing system that's scalable, that can help grow the company, that can grow with the company that is in place already and showcases another asset of the business.
Here's another interesting side benefit that we haven't even talked about. Let's say you're getting ready for, selling your business and all of that stuff. You're going to have your reasons for wanting to sell the business. But if you successfully fire yourself from all of the things that you have to do, it is possible that you may decide, I don't think I want to sell the business after all, because I've actually streamlined and automated everything that I used to do. So now I have a passive income machine. And you might decide, this is too sexy. I don't want to give this up. So that could potentially happen as well. So there's no downsides to doing this. None, because either way you win.
Agreed. What's the 5th one, Laura?
Tell them what they've won. Okay, so number 5 is you actually want to showcase the, what?
I was going to say it's a living room set.
Oh my God. See, number 5, you want to showcase financial metrics from the marketing. So you don't want to just do all of the stuff that we talked about, automate, yada, yada. What if it doesn't work? Well, the undertone here is that you want to make sure that it actually works. It actually delivers. It does what it says on the tin. But you have to prepare data. And when you have a good runway, most businesses, 90% of businesses will actually not sell successfully. Sometimes they'll just shut down. But if you want it to sell successfully, these are the things that will help you to get it to sell. So if you can showcase financial metrics, you can actually show the marketing to sales funnel. And we've talked about this in episodes before. If you're on YouTube, you can see the visuals, but just imagine I've got my hands up in a V shape, right? At the top of the funnel, is all of the marketing activities with complete strangers. All the steps in between bring people down to closed sales. If you can actually show the numbers at every single stage of the funnel and show business growth that can be directly attributed to the success of your marketing program, this is where you're going to be able to say to buyers, hey, we have our shit together. This is a sexy business. You're not going to have to burn yourself out and work yourself into the ground. Not only did we do all the hard stuff for you, but it works and I can prove it. Again, more money for you.
I like money. Money's good.
I like money a lot. So this episode is all about helping you to get the most value for you and the maximum selling price. So, in other episodes, actually, I think in the very beginning of the podcast, we talked about more strategies akin to this that you can probably think about that are kind of like tertiary to it. But these are things that you really want to think about while you're actually considering, shoot, you know what? Maybe I don't want to do this forever. Death is not actually an exit strategy. I mean, it is, but it's not a good one.
It's not great.
Yeah. And what happens if little Johnny doesn't want to take over the family business? What if you're getting a divorce and you're getting the shakedown listen, it's a very practical thing. If you're getting the shakedown from a former spouse, you'd probably like to maximize whatever your half is actually going to be. So yes, former spouse, we hate you, go die in a fire somewhere, but you're going to get half. That's fine. But that means your half is bigger. So, there are so many reasons to increase the value of your company. And the parting wisdom here that I want to leave you with is don't wait. There's no bad time to do this. And when we have clients that, trust us and have a good relationship with us, A, it's amazing, but B, it's wonderful because we can actually make a difference and help them to get a really powerful, successful exit from their company. Being a founder is a lot of work. I ought to know. And it's not for the faint of heart. And for all the hard work that you put in, you do want to get the most value out of everything that your blood, sweat, and tears sacrificed for. So when you think about this, think about as early as possible. And when our clients say, hey, 3 to 5 years, great. That's fine. Let's, figure out how to do this. And one of the things that I've been doing a lot with the consulting that I do with our clients is actually helping to develop an exit timeline and an exit strategy and figuring out where you need to be fired and how to actually fire yourself from the thing. And, sometimes I've had business owners say, you know what, I'm actually going to keep my company, or holy crap, now it's actually worth a lot more. Yep. So either way you win. Never, ever, ever too early.
Yep.
Even if you're 10 years out, there's no downside to doing any of the stuff, because even if you only do it for you, oh no, marketing that works, that brings you new business, that's terrible. Said nobody ever.
Right. But also, it's like what I said earlier, you should have a succession plan in place for yourself if you're leading a company.
Yep.
It's really, really important.
100%. So in the next episode, we're going to be talking about assessing a target business, one that you might like to buy. So you never know where you are today versus tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to be thinking about tomorrow. It's always good to think about these things. So tune in next week and we'll have that exciting episode for you. We're going to be helping you to think about horizontal acquisitions, maybe vertical acquisitions, stuff like that, and how to assess the value of that and how to see that they have done all of the things that we just advise you to do in this episode. So we will see you then. And once again, go to vision-advertising.com if you would ever like some marketing magic sprinkled on your life. See you soon.